Good day, everybody. Big Jimmy here. Well, I just got up. It's 3. I didn't just get up, but an hour or so ago. It's 3 in the afternoon. Why did I get up so late? Because I work night shift. And we're going to head her off to the gym because I love to be tortured and cry. My trainer, Dan, I just realized I'm paying another man to tell me what to do and to hurt me. So I may rename him Dominatrix Dan. The only difference is I'm getting no sexual pleasure out of it. Alright, so we're going to head her off there. My wife is going to join me starting this evening. She says she's taking the plunge and she means it this time, and excellent. I'm glad she does that. It'll be both of us, twice the cost, but it's worth it. If she can get everything she needs out of this and get herself all taken care of, I don't mind. Well, it's not that I don't mind. I mean, nobody likes to spend this type of money, and it's significant enough that it's gonna bug the crap out of me, but you know, what are you gonna do? Poor thing. She wants to do it, and I believe in her, and as long as she believes in herself, I'm not gonna give up on her. Subject today, somebody asked, they tell me about their protein poop problem. And yes, it's true. The only problem is you take a lot of protein and you're not used to it for the first little while, and you don't take enough water intake. One of two things is going to happen. It affects people certain ways. About 80% of the people will end up getting constipated. That's fun. The only way to combat this, you have to keep taking your protein and your protein supplements if you're not getting enough out of your meals, and most of us are not. Excuse me. So you're going to end up having to take your supplements, and it builds up after a while because you're not used to taking in that much water, but you need to take in the water. You really do, or your protein's going to have these giant poops. Hurt poops, not fun poops, hurties. And like I say, I was sitting there in man labor on the toilet for about 20 minutes there one day trying to have this poop baby, and sort of cut something on the way out, and I had a little blood in my stool. But it was only the one time, and I learned a lesson. Ever since then, I've been just jamming the water to me, not a problem. Every once in a while, I'll have a little Metamucil. But the more you work out the gym, especially in the, the treadmill and all that stuff, believe me, your poops will come. It reminds me of when I was a kid. Way back then, if you were constipated, one of the things that your grandmother used to do is shove this pill up your bum. And they called it a suppository. They probably still have it, I don't know. Because a lot of people can't orally take the medication or whatever, don't want to, kids. And so they threaten you with, well, this is going up your bum. So what happened? I remember the days, I said, you're gonna what? I saw this pill, and it's big. I don't care how big of a pill your mother shows you, but it's big, and so especially if you're like 8 or 12, I don't know how old I was. It's prepubescent anyways. I wish it scared the poop out of me, but it didn't. So they had to take this suppository pill and ram it up the old poop chute there, and it was not fun. I remember being scared, and both of them had to come at me there. I remember one time my dad pretty much had me in a headlock and was lying on top of me trying to hold me in place. My mother's... Can you imagine? Have you ever tried to cut a dog's nails that doesn't want his nails cut? You have to pretty much wrestle the thing to the floor and and lay on the thing, and lay to the dog to get his nails cut. Or back, it reminds me of my brother and I too. When we were kids, we had this cat named Tiger. And so what we did was, about once, I don't know, he's an outdoor cat. It's about every 6 months or so, we lived out in the country, and he'd come back, he'd just full of friggin' fleas. And so what we ended up having to do was flea patter the guy, because you put a flea collar on him, and he, for some reason, allergic to the flea collar, so it would wear all the hair off, and he'd have a bald neck. So we had to flea powder him instead, this hypoallergenic flea powder. Problem with that is Tiger didn't like it. So anyways, we were same thing. I don't know how many times you need like gauntlets on your wrists and forearms, for Pete's sake. You ever try and hold a cat down and flea powder his whole body? It's a new experience in pain and excitement. Let me tell you, I remember so many times my brother and I go so many times my brother and I holding that stupid cat down, and the thing just flipping out, losing its mind, screaming like a freaking rabbit that's dying. Flea powder flying everywhere, and you'd have to hold him. One kid would be in charge of grabbing his 2 front paws and his 2 back paws and holding them together and stuff. And I don't blame the cat. He's losing his freaking mind and stuff. And the other one was in charge of rubbing all this flea powder on him, and then you flop him over and you flip him over like a steak, and then you have to flea powder the other side. And oh my jump, of course it's all under his armpits, fleas and stuff, so you'd have to get under there, so you'd have to let go of his arms, and he'd bite and scream and claw. Oh my jumping, do you want to talk about? We come out of there looking like someone threw us out of a moving car. It was so bad. But funny, it was funny. So anyways, yeah. It's kind of like a kid getting a suppository. I don't know why I went off on that tangent with dogs and cats, but anyway, you're going to be backed up for the first while. You're going to notice it the first time. I have pooped in 2 or 3 days here, and then you'll say, what am I going to do? You might have to head to X-Lax just for the first time or two. Your body will adjust some. Because what you're going to end up having to do is, with these supplements and your exercise, and you can understand your body's going through a huge change, and it doesn't like it. You know, with the processed foods, it's easy, you know, you pretty much just eat a TV dinner or whatever, and then 18 minutes later, you're on the toilet there, friggin' peeing through your bum, so to speak. And you don't have any of that. This really makes you not have any, I don't want to say mucky or messy or soft. It's soft stools. I mean, for the most part, you're going to be the opposite. Nice, hard, watery, not watery, but you know what I mean. If it frogs up water, if it sucks up water, it'll be nice and consistent type stools. I can't stand bus time. Why didn't I go the other way? I love kids. I hate school buses. That's why. Somebody's, I want to leave. So they do leave, and here comes another stupid bus. Yeah. I like that bus because he said, go ahead. Thank you so much, Monsieur L'autobus. What else can I tell you today on the old, nothing about it, just drink lots of water. Drink lots, Never forget your supplements are important to take. Your trainer will know. They don't, unless your trainer's got his own supplement line and stuff, I'd beware of a trainer like that. I mean, your trainer will always tell you, go get your own type. Here's what I suggest for brands, because all supplements, believe me, aren't alike. Some of them don't get taken up by your body like the good pure stuff does. And then you end up peeing out most of the crappy types. Your body will adjust. You be drinking, or at least you should be drinking a good 3-4 liters a day, gallon almost of fluids a day. If you're working out hard and stuff and losing fluid, you'll need your fluids. And part of that is your stool. So not the one you push in at your desk. I'm talking about the, rear back door stool. So you're gonna end up being adjuster. Your body will adjust. You'll pee a lot for the first while. You won't poop a lot for the first while. But after a while, your pee will calm down in frequency, and your poop will up its frequency. If you stick to your proper pure diet and get your regular exercise to work things around, and you intake your water so that you can keep that channel, your intestinal channel, free of stickiness. Every once in a while, I still do a Metamucil. I muse before I deuce, but because it's hard to keep things moving for me, because I don't know if it's because I'm 50-something. It'll work though. Just do it. Do what I say. Do what your trainer and doctor says, actually, and then just take my suggestions and say, well, I may do that, or I may not. So here we are at Elite Strength Academy, Health and Fitness Center, and it's time for me to go in there and get abused by my fitness dominatrix. So we'll do that. And, be all set. I won't be happy, but that's what we got to do. We got to be fit. Time to go in. Talk to you tomorrow, everybody. My email's down below. You want to talk to me or ask me a question or anything like that, go ahead. bjucay@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, me one of them little thumbs up. Love yous all.